But yeah, Yorick, at the beginning of your turn, you get to make your save, which you fail.
Yep, we'll see if the trend continues. Um, Actually, sorry, I won't move there. One, two. I'll move right there. And I will go ahead and use Weight of Stone. Weight of Earth, actually. So that is an 18 on AC.
An 18 will hit.
Alright, for 14 damage. And target slowed.
You have bloodied it as you move forward and just bring your warhammer down upon it.
And I'll go to remark it too, since that expires at the end of my turn.
Okay. And it is also slowed. So the creature is now slowed, bloodied, marked. It's not doing that well.
Yep, this is a trend I'm used to. I failed my second roll.
All right. That brings us to Thaddeus.
Who, enthused by his last kill, will charge Nya.
All right.
This will obviously be a basic melee. Oh, in your face, wolf!
Jesus. No wonder the von Hasselhoffs are so famous.
Yeah.
It runs in our blood, and that is excellent. Above all things, excellent.
So that's 14 points of damage.
Yes, sir.
All right, so Thaddeus runs past Rogar with his Morning Star, lifts it above his head, and just brings it screamingly fast down upon this wolf's head. And just from the impact of the spikes and everything, causes the wolf's head to explode, sending gore to spray onto his armor, Yorick's, and onto the bush and onto the trees. Like it's like Fallout when you have bloody mess perk. It's just bad. But that ends Thaddeus' turn, so I need you to make a saving throw.
I can do that.
Yes, you can. Jesus.
Another 20. Wow.
So, does anyone have any
Sure.
questions about the nobility of the von Hasselhoff at this point?
So with adrenaline running through his veins, he's able to just like flex his muscles, and it seems to send out the saliva that the wolf or the chills that the howl had given him. He just powers through it like a man, apparently.
Yeah, that's 3 20s in a row now.
I'm pretty awesome like that.
But we come to Rogar, who at the
Okay,
beginning of your turn, you'll take 3 points of necrotic damage.
Yep. Do I have to do anything to get through this dangerous terrain?
No,
You
that's
do
or is
not.
it just-
It's actually gone now.
yes, it is.
Ah, okay, cool. I think I'm gonna charge this guy, try to do a bull rush attack. So I think move to there and then charge up into his face. That's just a normal melee attack, is it?
If it's a charge, yes.
Yep. Well, it's a bull rush. I don't know if that's any different. It just says verse fort.
Oh yes, a bull rush is different, and it's its own attack. Like you don't do any damage; you just knock it back a square.
Hmm. Yeah, I kind of want to get it away from Reese.
Okay.
So it's just I don't get any bonus for my sword, or do
Nope. It's just
Okay.
D20 plus your strength and any half levels, which you don't have.
I? There's a 13 hit his fortitude.
A 13 will hit its fortitude.
Nice. So I run up to it, slam into it with my shield, and I'm gonna push it back 1 and move up into the space.
All right.
And then I'm gonna end my turn.
That brings us to Reese.
Alright, so I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think I'm gonna go with a piercing strike. Actually, I don't know. Is their reflex gonna be better than their AC?
I would
Maybe.
guess with these guys, their reflex is going to be better than their AC.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Alright, so I'll go with a repose strike since he doesn't seem to like my face much.
All right.
Okay, so 23 versus AC with my flanking
That hits.
for 17 damage with the sneak attack.
Is that including sneak attack? Yep. And I also
Yeah,
need...
that's-
Your minimum is 17 with that?
Well, it's any of the die rolls. If they come up with 1, it does its red, so...
Yeah, to be
okay.
fair, his dagger just does 1d4. It's his sneak attack and everything doing all the damage.
Yeah.
I need Rogar to make me 2 saving throws because I forgot to do that at the end of his turn. One for the necrotic damage and one for the howl. Let me know which
Okay.
is which.
First one will be the necrotic damage,
So
and this
you're
one
no
will be the
longer-
howl.
You're no longer taking necrotic damage, but you are still shaken by this creature's howl.
Man, that's
necrotic
embarrassing.
damage was 3 points, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
And this wolf has just been attacked into, or like stabbed in the kidneys by Reese, and it is very bloodied. You can see that, like, with every breath it takes, it seems that more and more blood just starts to flow from the wound that you just inflicted on it. But that's a move and a standard. Do you still have a minor?
Nope, I'm good.
Brings us to the wolf, and it's going to turn and attempt to bite. Actually, Reese, I need you to make a saving throw before I go on.
Ah, yes. 18.
So you were no longer taking your necrotic damage. But it's going to turn and attempt to bite you, kind of like its last thralls.
Right, so I'll get my repose.
Okay.
Would I still add my flanking bonus to that?
Yep.
Alright, 25 versus AC for a whopping 4 damage. Feeling pretty stellar on my attack rolls tonight, though.
Yeah, definitely.
So the wolf turns to and lunges towards Reese, but it seems like this human is much quicker, and he kind of just brings his dagger up under the creature's like jaw and stops this wolf dead in its track, and then just throws the wolf to the side, and its body just lays there like still. You don't even see its chest heaving or anything like that. And now from the second wound that is almost gushing blood, you're pretty certain it's dead.
That
we
wasn't
don't
too
hit you
bad.
yet.
And I just need Rogar and Yorick to make some saving throws just to get out of it. It's not taking damage, so.
What the fuck? Seriously? Like, dude,
Well,
that's 6 fails.
So it seems that Yorick has some fear of the wolves or something innately wrong with him, as he is unable to shake the chill, whereas Rogar's just like, yep, they're dead, cool, they're not as scary.
maybe Yorick's
Cows are
parents would kill the
typically-
wolves.
That
Now he's
brings
the
us-
cow man.
Yeah, it's the bovine in him. He's used to predators. He's like, oh no. But that brings
No,
us.
I don't want to go in that corral. I'm not going to do it.
That brings us to the end of combat.
See, if I hadn't just failed that many saving throws and had that happen, I was gonna make some snippy remark about how, oh yeah, these are nothing compared to the creatures in the Plains of Sorrow. Yeah, not so much now.
They do compare to the creatures in the Plains of Sorrow. But I'll use my healing thing on me and Reese, even though he probably doesn't need it, just for fluff. So you kind of get. Sorry. Oh well, he probably doesn't need it. It's only 1d6 extra, and I only need to get a result of 1 to be at max.
I could use an extra 1, but that's it. I'm actually just like 1 point out of a surge to be full.
I guess it doesn't really matter, because I do die 6 plus 3, so.
Yeah, so your healing's better than mine, but I don't think we really need better. I kind of want to just do it for fluff. So like after the battle, it takes me a little bit of concentration, but like a dull yellow glow around your wounds appears, and you get to spend a healing surge plus 1d6. Okay, so yeah, I'm back up to max.
Like more of a prick by you doing the healing.
Hey, you got all those 20s. If you're gonna steal my damage, I'm gonna steal your healing.
So with the wolves,
I'm gonna brush the dust and guts off my shoulder, as I was not scratched in the battle.
Yes, that was quite the anticlimactic battle for you guys' first one. My string of bad rolls at the beginning really didn't help, and Mr. Critical there also turned the tide. But
you didn't have. You should have accounted for von Hasselhoff being in this fight, Glenn.
Yeah.
1 additional CR on everything because von Hasselhoff.
You gotta up the DC on everything with the von Hasselhoff.
But you guys are, in this clearing, and it's not in the Harrowsdale Bog yet. I mean, that seems to be maybe a couple hours away. I mean, you guys were traveling rather slowly after you exited the well-worn path and were just kind of like trudging through the forest. It seems that you found a game path, though, with this clearing, so...
Okay, well, before we head off, I want to do like a heal check to see what was wrong with these wolves.
Okay, you can also, people want, they could do a nature check.
17.
Yeah, I guess York would actually be curious about that kind of thing.
Thaddeus definitely curious about it. I want to know why a wolf would do necrotic damage. So it can be a heal or a nature? Because I'd rather do a heal.
Yep.
Let's see what's going on with these wolves. Holy crap.
Man, you guys have better mods, but apparently I just really know dead wolves. That's my specialty.
With Thaddeus and Rogar doing their healing checks, Rogar, you do not, like, the wolves themselves do not seem to be sick in any way, shape, or form. It isn't until Yorick pipes up and kind of remembers hearing something about these kind of creatures. He, after examining them and their teeth, he kind of recognizes them, or remembers that these are probably what are known as bog wolves. Carnivores, wow. Carnivores that prowl the edges of bogs, feeding upon any unlucky creature that is trapped within the mud or driving the creatures towards it themselves. They are very cunning, and their bite drips with a foul bile. They're also
cunning, eh?
Yep, they're also kind of like carrion eaters as well.
So, if they're bog dwellers, then that means we're getting close to the bog. Aren't we going to a bog? Isn't that where the cave is?
Yep.
We are indeed.
Yeah, well, it sounds like they hang around the edges, so either these guys are a pack that's traveled a bit far looking for food, or we're getting decently close. Well, I suggest we be more wary in future.
They're kind of like seagulls for sailors. You know, we're getting close to the coast.
Four-legged seagulls. I'd rather fight a pack of seagulls than a pack of wolves, though.
Yeah, but if Glenn puts us up against seagulls, they'll be like 20-foot undead monstrosities that vomit.
Murder gulls.
they vomit smaller seagulls that buffet you from afar.
So what are you guys gonna do now that you have defeated these bog wolves?
Well, I'm gonna suggest we keep going because we've still got a couple of hours to the bog, haven't we? Like 1 or 2 hours of travel, haven't we?
Yep.
Okay, well, I'm gonna suggest we keep going, but we keep an eye out because if there was one pack here, there could be more on the way.
Yeah, great.
I'm feeling pretty sure. I say we keep moving.
All right. So you guys, leave the clearing and the bog wolves behind, and they quickly fade into the background as you continue towards what you think is the Harrowsdale bog from the maps and the information you've gathered. Once again, you guys lose this kind of well-used game trail, and it starts to become somewhat messed up again. While it's no longer a knotted mess of roots, it has become lumpy after a while. And the further you go, it seems like the ground becomes even more and more lumpy, and you see depressions begin to scatter randomly in ample supply. And then, as you continue to walk for even more minutes, the massive maple trees start to space out more loosely as a peat tinge begins to play at the air.
Okay, well, it would be pretty much nightfall by now, wouldn't it?
Just on the cusp of it, but
well, I'm gonna.
we get to move to a new map.
Ooh, combat. Well, I'm gonna suggest to everyone that we camp near the peat so that we can explore it during daylight.
All right. So yeah, you guys find yourselves here. Arrange yourselves anywhere within the red box.
Apparently we move in formation. I like it.
I was liking the idea of you three going in front of me,
Your entourage.
Go forth, my henchmen.
But yeah, you guys find that it's not so much a clearing like what you had just found. It seems like just the maple trees themselves are thinning out, and while there is a peat smell, it's just like super faint.
Okay, well, does anyone object to camping here for the night? We'll just set up a watch and try to get some sleep and then explore the peat in the morning.
What time of day is it currently?
You got maybe an hour left of light. It's probably around 6 or 7.
Yeah, if we still have daylight, I'd probably want to explore a little bit before make use of what time we have.
It's kind of hard to tell. I mean, or it had been rather hard to tell because the canopy of the maple trees had been blocking out most light. But now that they're starting to thin out, like it seems to be getting a little bit brighter than what it had been. But you can still see that the sun is, well on its way to be set.
But more than likely, once we're inside, deep in the bog, we're not going to be able to find a suitable place to rest.
Yeah.
Probably going to be
Unless,
pretty shitty terrain.
Sleep up in trees or something.
Yeah, but we don't have to go explore too far out.
Well,
Or we can just go like.
Do we know the exact location of the cave? I don't remember. Are we having to search for the cave? Because, I mean, if we have an idea of how long it'll take us to get to the cave, then we can kind of better judge.
What cave?
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. I was like, I can't find my notes, but I don't remember a cave.
You guys
I
are
would-
looking for some flowers that are known to grow in a bog or swamp.
Okay. So we were here because of the Night Veil flower,
Yes.
the bomb.
Yeah.
Sorry. This is just like our second session, and we haven't played in a week or two. I couldn't remember.
That's quite all right. I just maybe you would have remembered something that I had forgotten.
No. I was just trying to refresh my memory on our. I mean, I kind of agree with Rob. I mean, Jorik. I would kind of, especially after that last battle, I'm pumped. My adrenaline's going.
Okay. Well, if we're gonna go in, I suggest we go in maybe like half an hour, 45 minutes, deep in, look around, and then turn back so we can come back to dry land to set up camp.
Yeah, agreed.
Or
We probably don't want to sleep there if we can avoid it.
Yeah. Plus, once it starts getting dark, we probably won't really be able to see flowers that well. I mean, we've got
I mean-
sun rods, but
Who knows? We might get lucky. We may only need an hour to find what we're looking for.
Well, sun is definitely wasting away.
yeah. So we'll go around about half what we think it'll be until it gets dark, and then head back. Does that sound good to everyone?
Yeah, something like that works for me. I mean, even if we go another hour, the peat smell is only faint. So, I mean, it's not like we're going to go 20 minutes and then be, knee deep in a swamp. We could.
Are you guys?
but,
sorry to interrupt. Are you guys moving in unison?
Yeah, I just didn't move
I
myself.
kind of assume so.
Okay, I just wanted to make
So-
that clear. So Yorick, stop right there. One more. No, back. Yeah. So you guys start to move forward as you press on, and Yorick, as soon as you get to that area, your movement forward comes to a sudden stop as the ground beneath your feet quickly dissipates. A combination of soil, mud, liquid, and who knows what else begins clinging to your legs, adding to your descent into the ground. Even though I said that, I still actually have to make an attack against you.
You're being attacked by Earth.
We're all adjacent to him. Can any of us try to grab him before he falls?
Yep, well, it's kind of like he suddenly falls, so we'll see if the attack goes on, and then we'll go from that. So this will be against Yorick, and then I guess against Rogar. So you're in the same boat. Like, you walk forward, and all of a sudden you just find yourself sinking rapidly. So Yorick, this will be against your reflex with a 9. Oh my god. And then Rogar with an 11.
Nope.
Hey, big roller. So you don't even have to get pulled out. As soon as you start to sink, you kind of throw yourself backwards. And I'll have you guys kind of jump back here. And you see the areas that you've just left kind of ripples as the water and soil and whatever else you have just walked through kind of returns to its stillness. And it seems like it almost looked like one of those lumpy depressions that you've been seeing for a while now. But it almost... But it definitely was something a lot deeper and a lot, oh my god, it's trying to swallow me kind of deal.
Yeah.
How much weight did it seem like I had put on before it started doing that? Was it I was half my weight was shifted to that, or?
Yeah, I'd say about half, maybe a little less.
Okay, crap. That changes what I was going to do.
I'd like to try to grab one of my hand axes and cut a long branch from the tree next to me and poke it down, try to see how deep it goes, and see if, while I'm poking it down, if the illusion or whatever it is fades.
So you cut are you thinking a 10-foot kind of piece?
Well, something that I could reasonably carry. So if I can find like a thin piece that's 10 feet long, sure. But if they're all kind of thick, I'll probably just go 5 feet or something.
They are pretty thick. Like these maple crest trees are quite huge. Like their leaves are as big as a man's head, kind of deal, or bigger. So, I mean, you can find probably a decent sized 8-footer.
Yeah. Okay. I'll grab one of them then. How much? Like how heavy does it seem to me?
Maybe 5 pounds.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. So yeah, I'll poke it in and basically see what happens.
You poke it in and you hear like this slurping as like you throwing it into the water, and you do not seem to be able to reach the bottom.
Okay then. Does the illusion disappear? Does it just look like the sticks like sinking through the ground?
It looks like you just put it into like this almost like swampy water that just had some stuff covered on it. That seems to be like some soil, some mud, a little bit of grass and leaves.
Okay. Well, I'm going to suggest to people, if we want to continue, we should all cut a length of wood like this just so that we can make sure the ground ahead of us is stable.
Fair enough.
Yeah, we can try it. We'll see how it works. That's kind of what I was getting at, but if it takes half our weight in order to actually break that initial bubble or so forth, like, I'm pretty heavy. I weigh a lot.
Yeah.
340 pounds base, so, I mean, you're not pushing 200 pounds down into it.
Yeah, but I'm kind of thinking we could just walk in formation again, and me and you kind of poke ahead just so we can keep a decent pace instead of having to test every step.
Another thing, yeah, I'm fine with doing that. I know, like, I have rope with me, so the people in front can toss that rope back to whoever's behind them.
Now that I know what it looks like, can I kind of keep an eye out for it? I mean, number one being, versed in traps and whatnot, and I've got a fairly decent perception.
You would be able to kind of spot it. It will give you a bonus to attempting to spot it. Like you see some of the signs, so you it's not like you'll be automatically be able to discover it, but you will get a bonus. I'll say that.
Can I also do like a nature to see what it actually is? Is it the swamp version of like quicksand, or is it?
Yeah, sure. If you want to make a nature check.
With a 23.
You definitely know what this is, and you recognize this as a murk hole. And you just know there's a lot of bogs and swamps in the Plain of Sorrows, and you know that these are basically, like you said, the swamp version of quicksand, but also it's water and like a whole bunch of soil. Like seems just like it almost. It's hard to describe. I guess quicksand probably would be the best descriptor of it. But it is not an illusion. It is just a common hazard in the swamp.
So if I'm that familiar with it, would I have a better chance at spotting it as well? Since I, with that kind of knowledge roll, should be able to point out the signs.
Yep. You can definitely get a bonus to spotting it. So, just so we're not rolling every, 5 feet, I'll just apply the bonus to your passive perceptions, and if at any point you want to then make an active roll, I'll just add it to that as well. How about that?
Fair enough.
Sure. So, I guess I'll take Rogar's spot up front, so that way Yorick and I are heading up the front.
Mm-hmm.
For spotting purposes.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Sounds
I'll
good.
go ahead and ask Rogar to cut a branch for me too, just so we'll keep an eye out, but also prod ahead just to be on the safe side.
Okay, just so you guys know, this from where you are, you also notice that there seems to be some more of it right here where I am outlining in red.
Okay. Well, I'll cut a. Well, actually, I'll pass him my length of wood first, and then I'll cut another one. And then I suppose we'll try to head off at a decent pace,
Okay.
if we're lucky.
So what order were we going in? Is it who's behind me and I guess who's behind Reese?
I'll go behind Reese.
Okay, so I'll pull out my rope and I'll throw part of it to Thaddeus just to be on the safe side. So at least have someone to help pull out easier if I do fall in and I miss it.
Yep. I will grab hold of that rope and I will actually put up my Morning Star so in case he does fall, I can get a better hold of it.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of the best way we can do this. I'll have you guys, like the two in front, like I'm assuming you guys aren't walking in an L shape.
I think we're
No,
back
it's-
to the square.
Yeah, we just can't cross. We just don't want to go through these. So, I mean, it's either try off to the right-hand side or go up through this one square, depending on what it looks like.
Well, you can tell it is solid ground. How
Yes.
about this? I'll have the two guys in front draw me the path that they want to take, and we'll go from there. Instead of like moving up, we can, and that way, like just draw your normal movement, like a normal move speed, and we'll go from there. And should you encounter something along it, I'll bring it up and whatnot. And if I say you're clear for the first one, everyone jumps up to that point, kind of deal.
Okay.
While Jork and Reese are doing their thing, looking for like merc holes and whatnot, can I be making active perception checks to look for anything trying to sneak up on us or surround us?
Sure.
Okay, here's the first one. My perception is not great. Well, that's a 9.
You do not spot anybody sneaking up on you.
Yeah, that figures.
So I'll just have you do one after each move. How about that, Thaddeus?
That works.
All right. So York and Reese, if you guys want to draw me the route you wish to take.
All right, so are we just going straight forward?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. I figure we'll probably just more or less go straight forward. Question though, for our like an actual perception check, how far would that net us, like in an area to see where these mark holes are?
It would
Like, are we talking right in front of us, or do we have, a few squares leeway?
you guys have a couple of squares leeway. I mean, it's not something that's just going to jump up at you. Maybe 15 feet. It's rather, like, even with your, now that you know what you're looking for the merc holes, I mean, it is still rather difficult to tell the difference between the normal ground and the merc holes themselves.
Yeah. Well, I assume these are kind of like Scottish bog holes.
Yes.
In appearance. Yeah. So you can literally walk onto them by accident. So I assume we wouldn't be getting too far ahead.
Well, I'm just thinking, if we do like our normal full move kind of thing, and then we can make a perception at the end of every move. I'm just wondering if a perception check will actually get us a little bit more distance ahead, as opposed to just our passives.
Well,
no,
wouldn't we do half moves for like going slow, checking stuff out? Because that way we should like move up 3 and then we can look ahead 3 kind of thing.
regardless on whether or not you make an active or a passive, it'll still be the same kind of distance. If you make an active, you might maybe get an extra 5-10 feet if you roll high enough. But I mean, like,
Yeah, I'll take my passive.
Yeah. All right. What is your move anyway, York?
6.
All right, I got the same, so I guess we'll just move together then.
Yep.
I'm
so
down at
straight up,
5.